Happy Nowruz, everyone, and thank you very much all for joining us. I try to be very short so you can enjoy the food and the celebration tonight. I appreciate Secretary Tom Bridge joining us tonight. Thank you very much, Secretary Tom Bridge, and very special guest, Ambassador. Thank you very much joining us. And special guests from all diplomatic corps and a number of reporters. Honorable guest, on behalf of the U.S. representative of National Council of Resistance of Iran, I thank you joining us for the Nowruz celebration. Thank you for joining us to celebrate Nowruz in solidarity with the Iranian people. While the Iranian people are suffering under a dictatorial rule, their ideal is beauty, joyful world. They wish the people of other nations the happiness and joy of the new year. Nowruz is a very old tradition that goes back to thousands of years ago. It's meant to mark a new beginning, the advent of spring. It reflects a profound belief in triumph of happiness over suffering, spring over the winter, and freedom over tyranny. Since the beginning of the rule of the Ayatollahs in Iran, the mullahs have disapproved of Nowruz, which they see as an expression of Iranian people yearning for freedom, for democracy, and for 40 years they have prolonged their decadent rule with death and destruction. We are confident that another Nowruz is dawning. To ensure that it will come, our movement have organized a very deeply rooted and widespread resistance. We are confident in victory. The events of the past year have demonstrated several realities. I want to share with you a very brief what has happened in 3 points. First, the uprising against the mullahs have continued since December of 2017. A clear indication of the deadly impasse which the mullahs are facing. They have no solution. Number 2 is that resistance network in different Iranian cities have expanded exponentially. The linchpin of this expanding network is the formation of resistance units, which Iranian youth have enthusiastically embraced. In recent months, resistance units have engaged in wide-ranging activities against the regime. Through these units, Iranian resistance have ensured the continuation of the rebellion. From all the officials of the Iranian government, from Khamenei to Rouhani, all the IRGC commanders, to heads of the parliaments, the judiciary, all have acknowledged the decisive role that the Iranian opposition has had in the uprising. Especially they're talking about the role of the MEK. And the third is because of the mullahs' role, their inability and weakness to deal with the internal situation of the people. The role of the alternative to the regime is more striking than ever before. For this reason, the mullahs have resorted to deception and lies and put forth fake alternatives to sidetrack the people's attention from the primary demand, which is the regime change in Iran. The mullahs' efforts to preserve their rule has included activating the apparatus of terror in Europe and US, with the main target being the Iranian opposition. Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, the president-elect of the National Council of Resistance of Iran, has said, quote, "It's time for the United States to include the Revolutionary Guard, the IRGC, and the infamous Ministry of Intelligence in the State Department terrorist list FTO, unquote. The resistance will not relent until Iran is free, until a republic is established based on separation of religion and state, on gender equality, and Iran without any executions, without any torture, without weapons of mass destruction, and a free and democratic Iran. Once again, Happy Nowruz to all of us, and thank you for joining, and please join us for good food and Persian food. Thank you very much.